This game is really damn good. Metroidvania games are my favourite kind of 2D platformer, and what's great is that this game pretty much takes that Metroidvania style and then cements its own ancient style combat system into the mix. Before I talk about all of that though, first of all, this game's art style is incredible. The art style itself is based around traditional Greek pottery, and it looks incredible in the ways that it manages to animate that style of pot into a Metroidvania game. Not to mention, the detail itself is absolutely mind-boggling. If you look close enough in the background, you'll be able to see all the bumps and ridges representing the pot itself, and every figure and environment moving around that background. It's very, very impressive. Also, the soundtrack is one of the best I've ever heard from a 2D game. I absolutely love it, and it's mesmerizingly beautiful. As far as gameplay goes, yes, it pretty much ticks all the boxes for Metroidvania games. In this game, you can expect a lot of backtracking, multiple side quests, finding keys and then bringing them back to previously locked rooms, and then finding loads of secrets in there. And speaking of secrets, secret areas that you can find that aren't part of the map, and of course, weapon and armor upgrades that you can purchase throughout the game. The control of this game is really good as well. Whenever you jump or ledge grab or go up and down slopes, the balance of momentum and weight is absolutely perfect. But what I love most about this game is the weaponry itself. As you run through the game, you can pretty much pick up any weapon that you come across from enemies or just lying around. And what's fantastic is that they all have different stats. They all have different durability meters, different weights to affect your swing or your throwing, different strengths and weaknesses, and what's great is that you can throw pretty much any of these weapons at any point. The amount of freedom that the combat gives you in this game is absolutely incredible, and it makes every single battle that you come into feel dynamic, fresh, and really challenging, especially with all the realistic physics whenever you swing lighter or heavier weapons. As for the boss levels in this game, holy hell, they're fantastic. Every single encounter in this game is fast, deadly, well designed, well structured, well thought out, and in some instances it actually shocked and surprised me more than I can tell you. However, even though I found the voice acting in this game to be completely marvelous, the story on the other hand isn't that great at all. I mean, for what it isn't bad, but it's practically a complete rehash of God of Wars 1 and 2, with nothing new or interesting thrown into the mix to make it a little bit more interesting. And not to mention there are some little gameplay elements that make no sense to me, such as not being able to hold a torch and a shield at the same time. I mean, for God's sake, why can't you just get a holster to hold your torch while you hold your shield? The problem with this is that whenever you're in a dark area, you need that torch, and the only thing you can do with that torch is use melee weapons. Basically, the only thing you can do in dark areas is run right up to your enemy's grill and then whack them with a melee weapon, which is much more risky than it sounds, and it leaves you extremely vulnerable. Other than those things though, I really did enjoy my time with this game, especially with the multiplayer mode. My god, me and my good YouTubing friend Hailfail, we played the multiplayer mode of this game constantly. It was so much fun, all the 2D Greek pottery battling, weighty platforming, weight and combat, and picking up different weapons and throwing them at each other. It's so much fun and really, really deep considering the kind of game that this is. So combine that with the really, really good single player of this game, and you've got yourself a really good package. It might not do anything massively different from most Metroidvania games, but it does enough differently that I can recommend it. It's got a load of good original ideas and a fantastic multiplayer system, and I think it's on Steam, it's on PS4, it's free for PlayStation Plus members, so go and pick this game up, that's all I can say.